Greetings and salutations, drifters. This is Matrick back with another Embers Adrift video. The gameplay footage in this video is more of the same, except for we're outside instead of inside of a dungeon. This video is more about the message than what you're watching on the screen, but what you're watching on the screen is very fun to me. I've been having a great time playing with these guys. A lot of us met right around when we started playing a couple weeks ago. We started a guild called Safe Haven for new players or people who just want to relax and enjoy the game at their own pace. We've been helping out a lot of new players, creating alts, getting people interested in the quests and the lore. We'll show them around New Haven Valley and run them through all the quests and go through the central veins, and then we'll do it again and again and again, and it's really fun. So if you see Safe Haven on, whether you're in our guild or not, feel free to hit us up if you need any help or have any questions about the game. So our main interest is just getting people to group up and interested in the content of the game, because we see a lot of people out there just playing solo, and it never hurts just to ask, like, hey, you want to group up with us? We did it just last night. There was a guy in the same dungeon as us, and we saw him, he saw us. He didn't want to compete for our mobs. He was doing the noble act, but didn't want to intrude on our group either. So I was like, hey, you want to join? And they absolutely did, and they were excited to do so. And then we made a new friend. We had a great time all chatting, going through this dungeon with an actual proper group for the first time. We had a tank, a healer, two healers, and a DPS, so it was really smooth sailing. We're used to rocking like 2 tanks and a support, or 2 strikers and a support, or no support, and you'd really notice the difference when you're missing that third role. But I can still find a lot of fun going with those janky setups, finding the success where, you're overwhelmed, the odds are against you, but you can use your CC abilities and communication to overcome these challenges. For instance, we just got into a Central Veins 2 run, severely underleveled. It seemed like we could handle it, but we had 3 supports and 2 tanks. And the entrance of the dungeon is a good telltale sign if something's going to be too difficult for you. We had a really rough pull starting off, but all of a sudden something magical happened. We were all in Discord, and we just started spouting off, heal going out, screen up, and we got a rhythm going. And it was amazing, because this wasn't something that we had been doing previously whatsoever, but the situation was dire, and it required proper communication to handle. So I'm really loving the social aspect that this game has brought me back to, because I am a hermit and a curmudgeon. I'm an extrovert and an introvert. I just want to be left alone for the most part. But this game is kind of breaking me out of my shell outside of work, because when I'm at work, I'm a socialite, but at home, I'm a shut-in. But I like my life. I'm enjoying it. So currently on Baru, I've got about 40 hours played so far in around a 2-week period. I've been playing a lot, been having a great time. I've met friends, and I consider them to be my friends in real life. It's not just social friends. I know about their lives, and we've told our tales, our stories, and our trials and tribulations, and just getting to know these guys. We're from all over the country, all over the world. We've got people West Coast, East Coast, Europe, those other places that you know and love. So I paid $40 for this game well over a year ago, and I hadn't thought much of it since. I kept updated on the Discord, like I said in my previous video, and now I'm back a year later with something I've already purchased, and I'm having the time of my life. I didn't need a subscription to enjoy this game either. I know there's a lot of altaholics, and that is something you will need if you want to have alts, and it's nice to have the extra storage for sure. But when I first started, I didn't have an alt. I just played my Sentinel. I was having such a good time. Still my favorite. I absolutely love the Sentinel class. Everything about it. It hits all the boxes for me. So excited. I'm in love with my Sentinel. So the point of that mainly is when a lot of people go into purchasing a game, they're looking at what is available right now. And granted, from what I understand, when the game came out, there was not a lot of available content. It was very sparse. But I've talked to players in the game that have been playing since beta, and one of them told me that there's a ton of content now. Granted, those people who've been playing since beta have likely already cleared all that content. there is a lot of min-maxers in this game. Surprisingly, it just doesn't seem like the game that would attract that type of player, but I feel like that player just gravitates towards games that they can min-max in, and they're able to do that in this game, and I'm glad that they're having fun with that. And I'm glad that they don't impede on my fun. You know, I play with these guys too, and they're very kind for the most part. They might get me and my group in our over our heads sometimes because they're used to playing with different people, and then they get into our group and it's like, oh, we can't just pull the whole dungeon, or not that they do that, but they can be very fast and efficient. So in the years since I last played, there's been tons of content that has come out, a multitude of quests. If you're into quests, and I really love the quests in this game, I'll talk more on that in a second. They've added solo loops. I feel like those have been around for a while now, but they're really awesome. I just tried one out for the first time the other night and found it to be quite successful. I was killing everything with relative ease. There was lots of resources for me to gather. I was getting chests. I did about 4 laps and left with the overflowing bag, probably full off the first lap, but inventory management is part of the charm and one of the aspects of this game. That's just something you have to constantly deal with and face, but you don't really have to if you don't want to, because I don't really need gold for a lot of stuff, and I just like collecting and vendoring. It's part of my enjoyment, but you're not forced to collect all the junk that you don't need, but I like it. Questing in this game is amazing. It's reminiscent to me of one of the greatest RPGs of all time, Morrowind. I don't know if you've played it, but you should. It's old and it's janky, but there's something about the alien world that you enter in that game, and your first quest out of Satanin, I want to say, and the guy's like, yeah, just go right up the road and talk to the guy. And it's not really right up the road. And if you read the quest, it'll tell you, pretty specific information. There's that rock up the path, and then you have to turn. I don't remember. I'm surprised I remember that much. But that's how big of an impact that game had on me, that I can remember one of the first quests and its details about that rock on the road that you're supposed to make a turn or something. And it doesn't tell you exactly where it is. It's not pointing an arrow to you. And it's very reminiscent in this game. It gives you the information to succeed, and then you kind of have to go and figure it out. And if you get lost, you can go back to the quest giver, and sometimes they'll give you a little more information on it. And bulletin boards with bulletin quests that have quest details attached to them. I've only found one example of this so far, but I'm only level 19, so I haven't gotten that far into the game yet. There's also item drops from enemies that will have items that also give you information on the quest, or it'll be a quest item. And in this game, you run along a lot of quest items, and most of the time you won't have the quest associated with it, but it's kind of letting you know that there is a quest associated with this, and that gives you the opportunity to explore your surroundings, maybe find the start of this quest. And it's really neat, and especially if you're discovering this on your own, because of course you could just look up on the wiki and finish the quest, or ask in the group world chat for help, and a number of people will offer to assist you with just about anything. If you ask in the chat, most people will be willing to help you here. So speaking about the solo loops again, I mentioned I just did my first one the other day. That's because I've been grouping up the entire time I've been playing this game for 2 weeks. I didn't even know who was online or who was playing or what, but I found these people in world chat. We started grouping and playing, and it's been just a constant party the whole time. I don't have time to do solo content. I've been falling behind on my professions. My friend Tober has been excelling at his and leveling. I don't know how he's doing it. He's doing it while, I'm standing there talking, and he's just crafting away, and I'm just gazing at the sun. And this has just been my experience. I feel like other players could log on for the first time and not find anyone to group up with. It's possible. But if you're not making an effort in the game to do group content or communicate with people, then that could be on you too. But I'm here for you. You see Baru online or Potlatch, I will group up with you. I'll make a new character with you. I'll show you New Haven Valley. I'll let you explore at your own pace and let you discover it on your own while I just follow around and support you or tank for you or strike for you. Also, there's probably people who have put in an effort and we're still unsuccessful. That's a possibility as well. And my heart goes out to you if you ever logged onto this game and wanted to play with people and you weren't able to find anyone or any like-minded individuals. But I'm letting you know that Safe Haven is here for you. You'll see us on the game's official Discord. We just sit in the chat channels and group up and gotten a lot of other people to join in on us. I've had people trying to get us to go into their Discords. I'm like, why though, Let's support these developers and player base by showing that people are in the game, playing the game, together. So what are you waiting for? Buy the game. Come play with me. I want more friends. Been having a great time. It's really brought me out of my shell. Even in the video making aspects, if you watch my videos before my last Embers Adrift video, I never talked. I didn't put a lot of effort in. I'm going to be honest, I'm still not putting in a lot of effort in now because it's complicated and it's hard. And if you're a returning player like me, give it another shot. I gave this game a try a year ago. I didn't have fun. I didn't enjoy it. And I didn't like it. But now it's one of my favorite games of all time. I'm just having so much fun. I can't wait to explore more and figure out what the heck's going on. Where's the sun? Is there a sun? Find out more on the next episode of Musings with Matrick. See ya.